Everybody to our regular council meeting for January 15th, 2024. Happy New Year and thank you for joining us. I'd like to call the meeting to order tonight. We have all members of council here present. Councillor Verbeek is joining us by Zoom. We acknowledge that this land is the traditional territory of the Three Fires Confederacy of the First Nations, comprised of the Ojibwe, the Ottawa, and the Potawatomi peoples, and of the Huron-Wendat peoples. We value the significant historical and contemporary contributions of local and regional First Nations and of all the original peoples of Turtle Island who have been living and working on the land from time immemorial. Please stand for our national anthem.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command.
Car ton bras s'est porté l'épée, il s'est porté la croix. Ton histoire est une épopée des plus brillants exploits.
God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
It is with heavy hearts that we acknowledge the passing of fellow firefighter Jared Burns, a devoted member of Essex Fire and Rescue Team. Jared was not only a loving husband and father, but a beacon of strength and dedication in our community. Since joining the team in 2021, Jared dedicated his time to serve our community as a firefighter at Station 3 in Harrow, demonstrating his passion and dedication to protecting the lives of residents. On behalf of Essex Fire and Rescue Services Administration and Council, I would like to extend our heartfelt condolences to Jared's family and friends during this incredibly difficult time. I would also like to thank our firefighter team for organizing his funeral and the firefighter walkthrough, and to all of the firefighters throughout Windsor and Essex County for showing up in support and watching over our stations while we had to bury our loved one. Right now, I'd like to take a moment of silence in council chambers to remember Jared and to honor his family. Thank you. We will go to our clerk director, Malin Jucolo, for a closed meeting report for January 15th.
Thank you, Mayor Bondi. Through you, I can report that council moved in the closed session on Monday, January 15th, 2024 at 4:30 p.m. as permitted to do so pursuant to section 239, 2I and J of the Municipal Act 2001, to discuss a trade secret or scientific, technical, commercial, financial, or labor relations information supplied in confidence to the municipality or local board, which, if disclosed, could reasonably be expected to prejudice significantly the competitive position or interfere significantly with the contractual or other negotiations of a person, group of persons, or organization, and a trade secret or scientific, technical, commercial, or financial information that belongs to the municipality or local board and has monetary value or potential monetary value.
Declarations of conflicts of interest from members of council this evening. Seeing none, I'd like a mover and a seconder to adopt the published agenda for January 15th, moved by Deputy Mayor Shepley, supported by Councillor Hammond. Any questions? All in favor? And that is carried unanimously. Adoption of the minutes for our regular council meeting for December 18th. Needing a mover and a seconder. Councillor Guerin. Councillor Verbeek. All in favor? That is carried unanimously. Adoption of the special council meeting minutes for December 13th, needing a mover and a seconder. Counselor McGuire Blaze, Deputy Mayor Shepley, any questions? Seeing none, all in favor? That is carried unanimously. We have no public presentations or unfinished business tonight. We will move to reports from administration, legal and legislative services, the Austin C. Wright Drain Replacement Bridge for Neller and New Bridge for Broker, that the following three members of the Drainage Board, Janice, Percy, and Danny Sove, be appointed to sit as members of the Court of Revision. That is scheduled for February 21st, 2024. Needing a mover and a seconder for this. Counselor Allard, Counselor McGuire Blaze, any questions? Seeing none, all in favor? That is carried unanimously. 10.2, legal and legislative services, Bondi number 1, drain maintenance schedule of assessment, that the following three members of the Drainage Board be appointed, Janice Daughtery, Percy Dufour, Danny Sove, be appointed to sit as members of the Court of Revision. That will take place on February 21st, and that bylaw for the Bondi drain maintenance schedule of assessment we had a first, second, and provisionally adopted on January 15th. Needing a mover and a seconder. Deputy Mayor Shepley, Counselor McMady, any questions? Seeing none, all in favor? That's carried unanimously. 10.3, Drainage 2024-01, appointment of an engineer under Section 78 and 65 of the Drainage Act for the 14th Concession East Drain and Branch. Recommended action that Drainage 2024-01 be received and that council appoint Dillon Consulting Limited under Section 78 and 65 of the Drainage Act for 14th Concession East Drain Branch in accordance with Section 22 of the Town of Essex Procurement Bylaw. Needing a mover and a seconder here. Deputy Mayor Shepley, Councillor Guerin, any questions? Seeing none, all in favor? And that is carried. Yeah, this is bylaw. Okay. I also need a mover and a seconder. I am sorry, I skipped it. On bylaw 2299 for the bylaw to provide for the Austin C. Wright drain. So we'll get a mover and a seconder for that. Deputy Mayor Shepley, supported by Councillor Guerin, and all in favor on that one. Sorry, my apologies. Okay. Infrastructure services, water supply bylaw and water and water billing collection policy. For this, we will move to our directors to give a little brief summary, and then we will move the recommendation if council sees fit. Director Gerard or Director Drusevich?
Thank you, through the chair. So I will speak to the water and wastewater billing policy that's within the report. So you'll see that there is a recommendation for council to adopt this policy tonight. This policy has arisen from the fact that effective January 22nd, 2024, water and wastewater billings will effectively be with the Town of Essex. The Finance Committee also gave direction to create such a policy, and that was given in October of 2023. This policy has lots of key information. It includes billing dates, payment information. It explains key terminology for water and wastewater services. It lays out a process for high usage complaints moving forward. Previously, we did not have one, and they were just heard at it as an appeal basis at the Finance Committee. So this provides authority to administration to assist residents through that may experience high usage complaints for infrastructure related purposes. It also eliminates tenant accounts moving forward. All previous tenant accounts would be grandfathered in. Again, this was pre-approved by council in principle at the October 2023 regular council meeting. And ultimately, it formalizes the town's arrears process. So previously, when we had ELK as our subcontractor, we had no formalized process. Having this process formalized will ensure that the town is protected in the case of billing or usage disputes moving forward. And this policy also ultimately informs residents of the new billing process moving forward. You'll also see a third resolution for adoption tonight, and this is just a slight extension to the penalty-free period. Council did approve a penalty-free period through to February 28th back in October. Now that we have finalized our due dates, the first due date will be March 4th. So we do want to extend that penalty-free period so that residents, for the first bill that's issued, should they have any mix-up in where their payment's made, we would have the ability to forgive penalty for a one-time basis. If there are any questions on the policy or the resolutions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Rusevich, any questions from members of council? Okay, I'll get a resolution on the table. I'll give you more time to think if you have questions. Needing a mover and a seconder that Infrastructure Services 2024-01 entitled Water Supply Bylaw and Water and Wastewater Billing Collection Policy be received and that bylaw 2303 be read a first, second, and third time and finally adopted on January 15th, and that water and wastewater billing and collection policy be adopted as presented, and that council approve a penalty-free period on unpaid water and wastewater accounts for the period beginning January 20th, 24 and ending March 30th, 2024 to assist residents with the billing transition. Needing a mover and a seconder to get it on the table. Deputy Mayor Shepley, Councillor Allard, any questions? Deputy Mayor Shepley, and then I have Councillor McGuire Blaze.
Through you, Madam Mayor. Just a quick question. I'm not sure if it relates exactly, but when exactly do we, like town staff officially take it over and start doing the work? Is that already gone underway?
The chair. So yes, December consumption will be the first bill that the town issues. So the infrastructure department is just wrapping up meter reads right now. And then later this week, town staff will be working to calculate the bills.
Thank you through the chair. If the first bill is not due until March, will our residents see like multiple months on the first bill, or are we billing December consumption in March?
Through the chair. So the bill will be mailed out. They should get it the second week of February, and that will be for December 6th consumption through to approximately a 30-day cycle, so early January consumption, and that would be due March 4th.
Questions from members of council? Seeing none, all in favor, bless you. And that is carried unanimously. Reports from our youth council members. That is not going to happen tonight. County council update. We will go to our deputy mayor for a county council update.
Through you, for the December 20th, 2023 County Council update, Solid Waste Authority brought its 2024 budget, which required a 4.1% increase from the 7 local municipalities in the city of Windsor. Essex County Council also approved a $1 increase in the waste management fee for refuse delivered to the disposal, bringing the total to $42 per ton. In total, the Solid Waste Authority's 2024 budget breakdown works out to $6.9 million for the 7 local municipalities and $8 million from the city of Windsor. Also, on the 20th, we received our report on preparing the failed regional waste initiative. That cost came in around $200,000. County Council also approved its first strategic plan. This plan is set to guide council and staff over the next 4 years and beyond. And we also received a report that provides details of the county's external financial commitments. And of that, 90% were legislated obligations. The emergency management program updates were approved. And finally, a consultant was hired to review council remuneration. Council has directed administration to hire a consultant to review what Essex County Council members are paid and provide comparisons from other jurisdictions. Currently, county remuneration is based on a formula established by a committee of citizens in 2008. The warden receives double the average pay of local mayors. The deputy warden receives half the average pay of a local deputy mayor, and council members receive half the average pay of local municipal councilors. And that's it for the county council update. Okay, Madam Mayor, sorry, one other thing. We are working through our budget. We weren't able to complete it the other day, but we will be completing it in the very near future. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Shepley. And just to add to that, I did send a report to all of council today on the community housing that we have in our municipality, just so that everybody can read about it. Looking for a mover and a seconder that county council minutes listed in agenda item 12 be received, approved, adopted as circulated. So we have 12.1 and 12.2. Needing a mover and a seconder. Moved by Deputy Mayor, seconded by Councillor Verbeek. Any questions? All in favor? That is carried unanimously. Correspondence 13.1, that all of the correspondence in 13.1 be received and that we can pull out items after we receive them all. Needing a mover and a seconder for that. Councillor Mady, supported by Councillor Allard. All in favor? And that is carried. I will go first to Director Gerard to talk about 13.1.2, City of Greater Sudbury in their request to amend the Occupational Health and Safety Act to clarify the definition of employer to exclude owners that have contracted with a contractor for a project. Director Gerard.
Thank you. Through the chair. So this correspondence is being circulated to communicate a motion from the City of Greater Sudbury that requests that the province amend the Occupational Health and Safety Act to clarify the definition of employer and to exclude owners that have contracted with a constructor for a project. This is a result of a decision from the Supreme Court of Canada, who determined that the City of Sudbury was legally responsible as a constructor and employer under the Ontario Health and Safety Act for the actions of its general contractor whose actions were determined to cause the death of a pedestrian on a construction project. As a result of the Supreme Court's decision, the municipality would be considered an employer of the contractor and its employees and may now be required to supervise and be responsible over the day-to-day affairs of a project and the contractor's actions. This is a grave concern for municipalities who are being asked to be responsible for employees who do not belong to the municipality. At a minimum, this enhanced responsibility will result in increased costs to the municipality in legal contract and litigation fees, and increased resources and employment costs to monitor the Ontario Health and Safety Act compliance by contractors and their employees. May also lead to municipalities being required to take on certain projects that they would normally contract out in order to ensure control over liability, which would require additional employees and resources, and as such may increase costs and taxation. We recommend that you not only receive this correspondence, but support it.
After hearing that, I'm looking to see if there is any direction from members of council. Councillor McGuire-Blaise, would you like to speak to it?
Through the chair, thank you, Director Gerard, for the additional explanation, because I didn't get all of that from the memo that was sent. So in hearing that, I would like to support that and send a letter of support to the Greater Sudbury, as well as our MPPs and our MPs, local and as far as wide as we can go.
Councillor McGuire-Blaise, so I think we want to send it to the Minister of Labor and our Premier and some of the people mentioned in the body. Okay, needing a seconder for that, Deputy Mayor Shepley. Any further comments? Deputy Mayor Shepley?
Curious, I know you wouldn't be able to put a figure to it, Director Gerard, but given this information, if we were to do the streetscape in the future, we would have to consider, based on that, having more of town staff involvement in securing that job site going forward because of the liability we would be exposed to if this is left the way it is.
Chair, so the Essex Streetscape is a good example of that. So it'd be a contracted project, but it could be as small as a task of repairs within a facility or anything that would involve us hiring a contractor. We would be considered an employer under this decision. But currently now we're staffed to basically do very high level overall contract administration. We currently hire out a third party to do inspection services for us. But under this, as a result of this decision, we would be responsible for any OSHA violation, anything that would ever incidents that happen on site if pedestrian was unfortunately struck or there was an accident or things like that that were of a violation of the Ontario Health and Safety Act on behalf of the contractor. So we would be responsible.
Yes, through you, Mayor, to Director Gerard, are these, costs that we'll be, recouping through, development charges?
So we haven't incurred any costs as of yet. We haven't looked at changing practice. I think we're all hoping to see what happens as a result of this decision and what sounds like a potential appeal that might be happening from the greater city of Greater Sudbury. So everybody is intently watching this from municipal government, trying to see what's going to be the end result. But if this decision is upheld, it could result in us having to look at how we staff and how we monitor and manage projects.
All in favor? Oh, pardon me. Who was our seconder? Deputy Mayor, the Deputy Mayor. Okay, and that is carried unanimously. 13.1.1, I see we received correspondence from the town of Lakeshore in an agenda in December. I think we received correspondence from the town of Kingsville. I'm wondering if we could just write back through the clerk's office to those towns confirming that we got their letters. I don't know. Do I need a motion for that? Just write back. So both of the towns that have ELK Energy wrote to the town of Essex. I just want to provide them a letter that we've received their letters. Anything else that council members, Councillor Hammond?
Yes, through you, Mayor, 13.1.4 and 13.1.5, letters received from Aurora regarding insightful speech and homelessness. I would like to support those and also forward those letters to local MPP and MP Flaherty and Lewis, please.
Councillor Hammond, we have a motion for 13.1 and 13.1.4 and 13.1.5 to receive and support and to send it to our MPP and MP. Okay. Needing a seconder for that motion? Councillor Allard. Any further questions to that? All in favor? And that is carried. Anything else further in correspondence? Councillor Hammond.
Yes, through you, Mayor, regarding Bill 3, Strong Mayor, bill, passed in 2022. I was just wondering if I could get a little, quick update or recap on that. I'm not really familiar with this Strong Mayor bill and, what it represents here.
Okay, Councillor Hammond would like a recap of Strong Mayor. I'm not sure if our administration is really prepared to do that tonight, or what are you saying, Director Malandrucolo?
So above and beyond giving you the information in the correspondence, if you want some like a summary of what that bill entails, you can direct me to go away and come back with a summary, and I can provide a written summary so that you have a summary of what it entails. Or would you like to explanation of what the correspondence is saying to see if you want to support that correspondence?
So if you can get back to me on that bill and I'll familiarize myself with that one more.
Okay, so Councillor Hammond would like administration to provide us with more information on the Strong Mayor's Building Homes Act. I need a seconder for that? Yeah. Okay, I need a seconder for that motion. Deputy Mayor Shepley. Sorry, Councillor Verbeek, I just saw you now. Did you want to speak to it? Anybody else? No? All in favor? Okay, and that is carried. Anything further in the correspondence? I think the rising municipal insurance costs, if we're pulling items out, that is one that I think we could pull out as well. Rising municipal insurance costs. I'm not sure if there's any appetite to support that. It's certainly something, a line item in our budget as well. Just throwing it out there. Go on to committee meeting minutes. committee meeting, sorry, Counselor Hammond.
Yeah, I guess a question to Mrs. Gorsuitz there is, are we experiencing the same rises that other communities are regarding our insurance?
Through the chair, yes, we are. The entire county is, from my understanding. The county did put forward the idea of potentially exploring a group purchasing for all lower tiers to try and get that rate down. But in the past 3 years, our increases have been on an average 10 to 15% at a minimum.
Thank you, through the mayor. I think in AMO, when we were talking with one of the insurers there, that they were looking at developing some type of a regional approach on that. And maybe I'm mistaken, but I think last council, we did send a letter asking for the same thing. So I'm not sure if we continue to do that again or not, or how long ago did we send that letter? Anyone know?
For my council, so it probably doesn't hurt to
Yeah.
send another one.
Okay.
Okay, so is there appetite from council? We need a mover and a seconder to support this letter, to forward it to the AMO, Minister of Finance, the Minister of Municipal Affairs, and the other Ontario municipalities. We just need a mover and a seconder if that's the appetite of council. Councillor Guerin, Deputy Mayor Shepley, all in favor? And that is carried. Okay, committee meeting minutes. That committee meeting minutes listed in agenda item 14, together with any recommendations to council noted therein, be received, approved, and adopted as circulated. We have Essex BIA, Police Service Board, Arts, Culture, Tourism, Drainage Board, Committee of Adjustment, Essex Accessibility Advisory Committee, and Essex Festival Committee. Needing a mover and a seconder to receive these committee meeting minutes. Councillor McGuire Blaze. Councillor Verbeek. Any questions? All in favor? And that is carried. Under notices of motion, we will go to our Clerk Director, Malanjuklo.
Thank you, Mayor Bondi. Through you, there are two notices of motion that were presented at the December 18th, 2023 regular council meeting that are being brought forward today for council's consideration. The first motion, moved by Councillor Allard, that council direct administration to prepare a report and provide a recommendation on installing deer crossing signs at the wooded area on the third concession near the Arner town line.
That is moved by Councillor Allard, and we need a seconder for this. Councillor Mady, I believe the balance of council got an email from an impacted neighbor around there as well. Any questions to this motion? Deputy Mayor Shepley.
Madam Mayor, just wondering, is it a problem, like, are there deers getting hit on that road on the regular? They're prevalent running across the road? Okay, just curious for an update, that's all.
Okay, all in favor? And that is carried unanimously. 17.2 will go to Director Malandruclo.
Through you, Mayor Bondi, moved by Councillor Mady that council direct administration prepare a report on the process for when a fence is requested to be constructed adjacent to town-owned property, including the breakdown of costs and party who is responsible for cost.
For that, Councillor Mady, we need a seconder on this motion, seconded by Deputy Mayor Shepley. Councillor Mady, would you like to speak to your motion?
Thank you, and through you, Madam Mayor. I brought this motion forward because going through the exercise myself on being next to town land and knowing that all the properties sometimes are haven't been adhered to over the years. And it seems that people have just been putting up fences wherever they believe. I don't think it's up to the town to protect our property so much as it is to have the homeowner wanting to put the fence up to prove that they're putting it on their property. So as part of this, I would hope that the survey would come into play and how that we could have the homeowners get their surveys done for installing fences on their property, especially when it abuts our land, town land. Help save the taxpayers.
Other comments to the motion? Counselor McGuire Blaze.
Thank you through the chair. Sorry, if I could just get some more clarification, Counselor Mady. When I don't live next to town land, but I need a survey when I want to put a fence up. So what are we asking for? Do you not always need a survey when a fence goes up? You don't. So anybody can just put a fence up whenever they want. You don't need to find your
Chadwick?
lines.
Director Chadwick can explain.
Thank you, Mayor Bondi, through you to Councillor McGuire Blaze. So it depends on the application. If for example, sometimes the survey is a part of the building permit application and a fence permit application comes with it at the same time. Sometimes it's a matter of the chief building official not having the required information and it will be requested. So it's not currently a part of the process, but we can certainly come back with a report and explain the circumstances on when a survey would be required, if not already as a part of, say, a legal survey or reference plan. When there are questions about property lines, it's usually required.
Any further questions? I think it's a great idea. All in favor? And that is carried unanimously. Reports and announcements from council members. We'll start at Councillor Guerin's side because I don't remember where we start. Okay. Councillor Hammond?
Nothing to report.
Nope, nothing to report yet this year.
Deputy Mayor Shepley?
Report this year either.
You gotta be kidding me, you guys. Councillor Allard?
Yes, just want to notify everybody that the Colchester Bar and Grill is back open.
Thank you through the chair. I have nothing to report, but I do want to say a big thank you to our snow plow employees. They did a fabulous job over the weekend. I'm sorry, I had a huge brain freeze there. But they did a really great job over the weekend and through the blizzard. And I want to say, I don't know about the rest of the municipality, but Essex Center had no power out. So yay. So we made it through our first 2024 blizzard with no hiccups. So congratulations.
Councillor Verbeek, did you want to say anything? No? Okay. So this Saturday, January 20th, there is an Evening of Hope at the Harrow United Church at 7 o'clock. There are music features with the Gorics and the Harrow United Church Senior Choir, and they're accepting donations for Project Hope and Harrow United Church because the third Monday in January is known as Blue Monday. This is kind of a difficult time of year. So if you want to get out with your family and have some family time, please join us and I will be there. Okay, bylaws. Bylaw requiring a third and final reading that bylaw 2293 be read a third time and finally passed on January 15th, 2024. Needing a mover and a seconder. Councillor Mady, Councillor Guerin, any questions? All in favor. Bylaws that require a first and second reading. Bylaw 2296 being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the January 15th regular council meeting be read a first, second time, provisionally adopted on January 15th, needing a mover and a seconder. Councillor Verbeek, Councillor Hammond, any questions? Seeing none, all in favor. Being a bylaw or bylaw 2201, that bylaw, or sorry, 2301 be read a first and second time and provisionally adopted on January 15th, needing a mover and a seconder. Deputy Mayor Shepley, Councillor Allard, any questions? All in favor? And that is carried. And I guess I'm looking for a motion to adjourn now. Councillor Guerin, Councillor Hammond, all in favor. Thank you for joining us tonight. Have a good one.